if you're a shipbuilder, the best update for SE2 just dropped. I'm not even playing. Let's get into it. So, they added 15 new blocks. And technically we have 17 laid out here. I'll explain that in a minute. But, yeah, we've got conveyors, baby. So if you've been working on a ship, you've ported over from SE1 into SE2, and you've been rebuilding it, and you're like, oh shit, conveyors. What am I supposed to do about that? Problem solved. They added them. I'm so excited for this. I cannot explain to you how excited I am for these conveyors and how they work, but also don't work because they're not functional. Before we get into it, though, I gotta complain. I gotta make a complaint. Why? Why are they 50 PCU? All of them are. All the conveyors are 50 PCU. Even the small ones. That's the same size as a cargo container. I'm very confused. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's the same size as each cargo container size. I'm kind of confused. Why? I feel like they should be less than that, because then, you know, outside of the, you know, like these little blocks, like the slices for when you're doing strange builds that isn't your normal space brick kind of layout, right? There's not really a need for these other ones. You could just use cargo containers. I don't know. I hope they bring that out. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just being a little bitch and I'm complaining for no reason. But to me, I feel like that's just too much. Anyway, let us get into it. So first off, over here we have the what is it? Conveyor adapter end 1.5. Let me just drop down here. Oh wow, it actually tells me when I look at it. Oh, sick. Oh, except for those. Okay, never mind. I got a little too excited. I think it's because... Oh. Oh. Okay. Wait. Okay, yeah, alright, cool. Yep, it is pretty self-explanatory. So this one, basically, you take a large block, and now you can attach a small block. There's a logistics. Small. You can now hook up a small block, and that's yep, it's your adapter. The same applies for this nice big adapter straight 2.5. Sorry, I almost called it cube. That's it's not really cubic shape, is it? It's pretty nice. Yeah, there's not a lot I can say. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Once I showed you this part where you hook up big piece to big piece, small piece to small piece, there's not really much more to explain than that for these two. They're very cool, awesome to see them. Glad we have some sort of intermediate block that allows us to switch between large and small. So if, you know, example, if you didn't want to have, you know, big conveyors leading up to where your turrets are and you wanted to save a little bit of room or squeeze through a smaller space there, which, you know, by the way, you can just, yeah. So if you had a little thing going on in here, like one of my new ships I'm working on does, you could just squeeze a little tube through there. Using the small blocks, or decor blocks, which I'm hoping we get some more shapes here soon. Yep, this is pretty self-explanatory, those two. I don't get a lot to say, so we're gonna move on. Here we have the cross junction. Looks pretty good, not gonna lie. It's very interesting I can open an inventory for it. That's not something we could do before. I wonder if it can actually store stuff in the tubes. Oh, can you imagine, right? Some of the, like, the tubes can, like... Hold on, is this? Yeah. Some of the tubes can, like, have, like, a small inventory, for example. So then, like, it's storing a little bit of ammunition, like, as it's being pushed through the pipeline, right? And then you take a round in your ship, and it severs that, like, junction. But, like, the ones after it leading to the turret still might have, like, a few rounds in it. So you can, like, keep firing a little longer, or welding, or, you know, whatever scenario you want to make up in your head, really. But it would be kind of interesting that it can hold it. So then, like, when you when you're trying to rebuild the system, you know, like, oh shit, I'm down, I don't have one steel plate, and you open the one next to it, and there you go, there's a steel plate that just happened to be sitting in there from it porting over, and you can use it to finish welding up. I think it's interior plates, not steel plates for conveyors, if I remember correctly. Next we have, you know, the little, oh god, what is this? Is it just, they didn't name it, right? No, it's, okay, it's curved. 2 meter curved. Let's make sure they didn't change the name to like a, I don't know, L shape or something like that. Pretty good. It is nice that we can like see in those, and they're like reflective, and we can see out of them. Like if I get at a certain angle, I can just see through it like a viewport. I wonder, are these going to be airtight? So let's say that this space is completely covered. We'll get to that later with some examples of something in a bit. But let's say that there's a block perfectly around this, and the only hole is this see-through hole. Will this act as like an actual hole, and we can't, you know, airtight? The words are slipping me right now. I woke up, rolled out of bed, hopped on my PC, and started setting up this video. So my vocabulary has not caught up with me yet. But would it still be airtight, or would this count as a hole, and we would need like a cap or something at the end to keep the air from escaping? Or water? Could water go through here, this space? I know a player can. Oh yeah. Let me just show you that real quick. We'll get to talking about what's over here, but let me, in case you were. Oops, okay, I missed. In case you're curious, no, you can't just fall through these, unfortunately. It would be kind of cool if we could. You could set them up in a funky little way, and it could be like a, I don't know, like a little elevator system or something. I don't know. I don't know, it's just throwing things out there. But I wonder if that means if they'll be airtight or not. Guess we'll have to see in the future, huh? Next, we have the node junction. So it's basically, this one here, but it's on all sides, and instead of just doing this spike design again, they just made it a square, which is fine. It's our normal conveyor junction that we're used to. It's just square. It's been named node. Next up we have the, oh wait, hold on, that's different grid size. Hold on, let me get down here. So we have, what is this? Is this the bigger one? Yes. So we have the conveyor short 1.5. Basically, what this does is, if I was to place, we'll just use these because they have big ends, right? So you can see that this is in the center of the block, right? But if I was for some reason to place it slightly off what the center of the block would be, and then I place this one in the center of the block, you can see that I fell off my my grid here. I almost called it my throne. It wouldn't, you know, they wouldn't be able to connect. Now this one in specific, this block that we're showcasing here, is too big for that gap, but there is a smaller one, if I can click the right one. There is a smaller one that does fit, and ta-da, they are now connected up, and they work. So, very awesome, very awesome. Basically, what this one is just for a bigger gap, and that one is for a smaller gap. So I think this one is, yeah, one small armor block gap, if that makes sense to you, how they're like 2 by 2 details, and then this is just one detail block in width. Very neat stuff, very neat stuff. With that explanation, I can kind of skip over the next one as well. You know what it is. We have our good old conveyor straight. Not a lot to say about it. It's the conveyor straight. It does look good. I do like these lines. Something ooh, you know what? I've not actually tried painting these. Sorry to take away from the video here, but is it bad I always get, you know what? I can never find this thing. Sorry to take away from the video. I was gonna say, is it bad, but then I couldn't remember it. Let's, I'm colorblind. Sure. I don't actually know what color that is. It seems different. It's not gray. Oh, okay. What would be unique, as I was trying to say, I know that these are supposed to simulate whether it's on or off power grid, like connected or not, right? These lights. But it would be really cool. Maybe a modder, if there's a modder listening, that you make a thing where we could just change the color of the lights, like, of our own accord, you know, maybe. I know it's supposed to tell us whether the grid has power or if it's connected at both ends and leading to something, yada yada yada, from SE1. I know. But my brain would be happy if I could just RGB that thing, okay? Alright, next we have the Conveyor T-Junction. Very nice, you know, a block we really requested in SE1 there for a while. So it's good to see immediately in SE2, the very second week of conveyors. I mean, look at this. We got quite a bit of conveyors up to this one. So these 5 up here and these 4 right here are the large grid, and the rest of these are the small grid. But what doesn't make sense is if you notice that block and that block are the same as that block and that block. It's because they are, but for some reason, even though they have the exact same description, I was on the right one, this is in the large category, same size, 1.5 meter, same naming, 2.5 meter, right? Same naming, same CPU, same size, or PCU, sorry. I don't know why there's one in each. Maybe it's because they have a small and a big on both of them, so they're like, technically, they're both. I have no idea. But I placed them here just in case that maybe they are supposed to have a slightly different function. I didn't want to, like, you know, skim out on you guys and not place a block because I thought it did nothing, and then, you know, you're yelling at me in the comments like, by the way, that block actually transmutes 1.6% faster. I don't know. But yeah, we have the small version, even though it's same as the big, so we're gonna kind of skip over these two because, I mean, pretty self-explanatory. Here we have the cross junction, but tiny. It's pretty small. It is a, what is that? A 4x4 detail cube size space. Detail cubes is the smallest sizing we can get. So, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4x4. I was like, I got confused. I was like, is it 2x2? No, it's 4x4. Here it is on its side, so you can see all the ports and angles and all that snazzy stuff. Pretty nice stuff. We're gonna move on to this small little, I'm gonna call that the L junction because my brain forgot what it's supposed to be called. Oh, curve. There we go. Yeah, curve. No, you can't place blocks inside, and if you're thinking maybe the bigger one, no, you can't. It's like an invisible barrier there, which is fine. I mean, you imagine how overpowered that'd be if you could, like, slip a, ooh. Can projectiles pass through this? Like, not like kinetic ones like a block, but like Gatling bullets shoot through this? You see, I got all kinds of science questions for these conveyors with this game. Cause like you could like put a Gatling behind this, right? And then it would like hide it, and people would see this and be like, oh, yeah, it's just a conveyor, and then you turn your conveyor towards them and gat them down, or some stupid like that. Can it shoot through? Could we use this as like detailing for like cannons? I don't know. Future me questions here. Future me questions. Here we have the node junction. Very small. It's got a little conveyor on each side. It's very nice looking. We're gonna move right along. We have the 2 different little not adapters. What were they called? What are they called? Oh, slice and short. My bad. Slice and short. So that's the short, and this is the. Oh, there's not a small one. You know what? That makes sense because I mean it's already 2 detail blocks, 2 wide by 2 tall. So I mean, oh, sorry. Let's take 1 by 2 by 2, or is it 2 by 1 by 2? I'll leave that to someone smarter than me to tell me in the comments. Here we have the, the conveyor straight. Pretty simple. You might be frustrated that this isn't on the glass. No matter how I rotated these blocks, even the large ones, it wouldn't let me place it on the glass. It's, yeah, a little irritating, but we'll get to that in a minute. Oh, by the way, there's last week's video. If you're curious about what happened in last week's video, I will link it down below. No, actually, I'll have it at the end of the video. It'll be in my in the cards. It's like recommends a video for you guys. Go check that out if you want. It showcases some pretty cool stuff as well. And lastly, we have the T-Junction. Alright, moving on to some more interesting things. So, I'm going to start with this one. So in this game, we can place them touching each other. So they can actually be on each other. They don't have to, you can place them, you know, like I just said like 10 times there because I'm losing my words, on one another. It doesn't do that thing where it's like, it doesn't register that as like something you can connect to. We can do that in SE2. Very cool. Very cool. Ooh. Oh, I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, we could do it in SE2. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That means it's going to be a lot easier for squeezing little conveyors in tight spots that are all weird from different shapes and grid sizes, right? It's going to make that a lot easier. Next up, we're actually going to come over here and look at this. So, you can place these two. Oh, yeah, it's kind of example of what this is, but on a different scale. So we have the curves right here. They are placed on each other. And as you can see by the little yellow box down there, maybe I should get like a smaller block, something. Yeah, there we go. You can see by the yellow little triangles, or corners, they are placed in the same block space, so they are connected to each other. And this is an example of them looping, so they can loop. You can but can't place a block here. If you already have a block going across, you can then run a detail block through it, which is kind of strange if I'm being honest. Maybe, hold on, actually. I just had an idea. Give me a second here. Oh, shit. So, yeah, hold on. That's actually, like, huge. You could technically run a conveyor through these little gap here. That's... Okay, that's not something I thought about until this very moment. Sick. Okay. Yeah, you can place, you know, armor blocks in front over them. And here's an example of them being able to reconnect. So I used the conveyor straight, and I added some of the little slices. I think I could have gone with a bigger one now that I look at it, technically. And I've connected these two up. These are now two connected entities, making a very interesting shape here. So that's just an example of how they can be used and set up here. If you're like, oh man, these are gonna overlap, I can't get them to work, even though I placed them like right here. Yeah, you can make use of that. It'll work. But an issue is, let's say that I place this here, right, and then hold on, I place this here. So they're like two offset angles and stuff. You could not make these connect. Oh, hold on. I've technically lied to you. Hold on. Those you can connect. Let me... There. You could not make these connect. You just can't. They will not connect. Which is okay. Kind of understandable. So, be a bit mindful of how you're doing it. If it's not something... If it's something like for ammunition, for like Gatling turrets, where it's like a small thing that can pass through small conveyors, because I imagine they're going to do that same system where steel pipes can't go through small conveyors, like in SE1, you know, they can only go through the big ones, or the weird adapter thing on the small grid, right? If it's something like Gatling ammo, you could set it up using, like, you know, the small block, connect it off one of these and realigned. Yeah, you could make that work. But if it's something like your welder or maybe like your railgun round, it wouldn't... you wouldn't be able to pass through that. That's if they do that same system. They could just void it and everything can go through every size, and you could just kind of decorate things to your own desires. But yeah, just wanted to inform you of that. So over here we have all these small blocks placed together and connected up, so you can kind of see how they look like, all set up like this. And then we have the same thing over here, but it's just off the bigger adapter size. Okay. Now here it is again with large grid. We got this. You got the little slice. We got the I forgot what the other one's called. It was slice, piece, quarter inch. I don't know. T-junction up there. Node, straight. And then we have the curve. We have the cross, and that's all coming off this little adapter. And we rinse and repeat on the side, but coming off the large adapter. And I just want to show you guys how this could look. So if you set up like little conveyors like this, they can look pretty good with that. And I did not think about this until just now. Could I... Oh, wait. But could I... Okay, so no. Well, yes, but no. that block right there, this one it won't let me place into, is what's keeping this from happening. But you could, like 99% here, fill in the space between these conveyors. So if you didn't want there to be a gap there for whatever reason, right? You could mostly fill it in. You can't completely. I mean, I guess if you just wanted to on top of it like this, but I mean, it's a design choice. Maybe you can make it work. I probably can't. Yeah, so you can place those in there, as we kind of alluded to over here. And can I? As you can see, you just can't place it in that elbow there. You can place it like that. So, you know, if you wanted, if you had this design going on right here, similar to what I have, you could have a little sign right here, just as high, or components. I don't know. Do whatever you want. Maybe we can get. Maybe they'll have an LCD that's like this size, so you can like fit between it. I don't know. But anyway, this has been the conveyors update, and I think it's a pretty good one. I'm still upset that each size and shape is still 50 PCU. I feel like that's too much if you're building a realistic size ship, something normal. I'm not saying like a 1-to-1 Spirit of Fire or some crazy thing like that, but you know, your normal big ship, something that's like maybe 100 large blocks long. No, I feel like that's stretching it. 50 large blocks long, and like 15 wide or 20 wide, you know, a normal big ship. Trying to fill that with conveyors, I just feel like that uses way too much PCU, and I feel like they could knock it down. I think 25 is a fair amount, or I highly doubt they'll do this one. They make it per size, so the small like conveyor tube, for example, would be 25, and the large conveyor tube would be 50, and then like the little slices, and what was the other one called? I gotta stop calling them slices. There's more than one. There's a short and slice could, you know, be each individual their own size. So the short could be 25, and a slice could be like 15. I don't know, like smaller, since they don't take up that much room. You know, just I don't know. I just feel like it uses too much, and when we get into building actual ships, the size of things like the lights and turrets and everything else is just going to take up so much space. Yeah, we have 400,000 PCU, but I'm kind of pointing more towards multiplayer or survival, where you have more than one ship. You know what I mean? Like, you have your giant space station, and then your planet's base, and then you have a tiny little dinky transporter ship because you don't have enough PCU. I know they said they plan to expand it in the future, but we don't know if that's future water update in like 2 years, or if that's future survival update, multiplayer integration. If it's past all that, 3-4 years from now, it could be the very next update. We don't know when that is. So I don't know. I feel like it's too much. Maybe I'm just bitching. Maybe I'm just being a little bitch here. And if I am, let me know down in the comments below. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm excited for this. I can't wait to jump into the ship I've been working on. Painstakingly replace all the cargo containers I use to emulate where the connectors are gonna go, or conveyors are gonna go. It's gotta be so fun. Some of those are really wedged in there. And yeah, finish making my ship. I will be doing some streams here in a couple days of building and working on ships. So if you guys want to see that, stick around. Make sure you subscribe and notifications on. Leave me a comment down below, like if you would. I'd like to go for 5 likes on this video if you think that's possible. We are on the road to 500, and I'd like to hit that soon if you guys would help me. It has been a big goal of mine for a little while now, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.